I am an avid believer that if you are going to be in business in any form or fashion, and sales, which is part of business, right? Knowing how to speak in public is absolutely a tool that you should craft and hone, because it will take you, it'll take you levels beyond what you can imagine.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. Have you ever bombed on stage or just felt so nervous in front of your audience that you just blinked out? It happens more than you realize, but you don't have to sabotage ourselves in this public forum anymore. Master comedian, award-winning humorist, and author and speaker, Ruth White is here to join us today.
Hi, Teri.
It's so good to have you back.
It's so nice to be here.
Okay, so you have been doing this for a really long
30 plus years.
Long time.
I have been doing it a long time. No, I've been doing, I am a road warrior, man.
But,
Humor is my life.
But I got to ask this question because I think this question comes up a lot with my clients, and they ask the question to me often is you know, do you still get stage fright?
You're asking me that?
Yeah. Do you still get stage fright?
You know, I don't call it stage fright.
Okay.
But I definitely feel the energy and a nervous kind of a tension. And I will share what I share with my clients, and what I use as a methodology to kind of calm my nerves is I remember that I really am passionate about the message I am there to deliver.
Yeah.
And so what happens, I'll just say, let your message carry you. So kind of get
so
out
good.
of your own way. Like, you know, we're all like, oh, my hair's not right, and I don't like my outfit, and oh, they're going to think, you know, they're not going to think I know what I'm talking about. Like, we get all that negative talk going on in our head, and we paralyze ourselves before we've even stepped on a stage.
Yes.
So to just really, to be prepared, that's a huge piece of it.
That's true, yeah.
Prepare, which is what I help my clients do. We craft the talk so that it's brilliantly crafted.
Yes.
I mean, we've worked together and
I know, and I
done
love
some
it.
great
Yes.
work.
Yes.
And then to just kind of get out of your own way. And it's hard to do, but it's really important to remember to stay focused on the message that you're there to share with your audience.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Have you ever bombed on stage?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so what did you do to recover then?
You know what? When I first started stand-up, I did stand-up for 10 years on the road, and then 15 years and counting, as a speaker and a humorist. And when I first started stand-up, it was in Austin, Texas. I walked on a stage. There were 3 sailors. I mean, in sailor, you know, the uniform. I almost said outfit. That's not good. Excuse me, I don't like my outfit. Man overboard. So there were 3 sailors in the front row, right?
Dear.
So I stand up, start to do my stand-up, and they heckled me the whole time. The whole time. And I walked off the stage. I didn't get the laughs that I wanted. I walked off the stage, and instead of being mortified and thinking, okay, I can't do this, this is what I thought. That will never happen again. So it's about taking control of the stage, and when you bomb, you know, I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
You can be really prepared and still bomb.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to to debrief it. I ask people to record their talks, like on their phone, or if you have on your, to do a video on your phone, to just watch after the fact, like give yourself a little grace, and then watch it again and say, oh, that's why that line didn't work, because I didn't say it the way we wrote it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that I was fidgeting, or so you can just constantly be your own best student.
Yeah.
But bomb happens.
Yeah, and also just after you're done, like reviewing it, what worked, what didn't work.
And that's the hardest part for most people, is watching themselves, listening to themselves. Yeah. But it is what separates the amateurs from the professionals.
That's so good. I usually, at the beginning, I used to watch mine like this. I'd be like,
like a horror movie?
Yeah, like, and then I'd be like, okay, maybe it's not that, it's not that bad. It's not that, and
you know what,
this one time I was watching it, and I was like, oh, I actually, like, I could see that I was nervous, like, the first 5 minutes, but after, I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
One of the things I say is, it already happened, Karyn. It already happened. So you can't change it. It already happened. So just watch it.
It's so good.
It's already happened.
I'll tell you this. I did my first, one of my bucket list items was to do stand-up comedy. So I did my first stand-up comedy set, and I went as far away as I could.
Yeah.
I had a stage name. Can you guess what the stage name was? My first name.
I would love to hear it.
It was Kiki.
Kiki?
I looked up the definition. It's like brings joy and laughter to
Kiki
people.
Cardula?
Kiki Cardula. I know.
You know that's your name from now on.
Oh my gosh.
I'm putting Kiki in my calendar when we have a coaching
Kiki.
call. Oh, I gotta call a Kiki at 2.
I didn't want anyone to know, right?
That is hope.
Right? And so I was like, just call me Kiki.
You are.
You know, I'm like Barbie. Just call me Kiki.
But how was that experience?
So I will tell you, I was nervous, but thankfully the stage lights help because it darkens. I mean, you can't really see many people from beyond the first row, which is always a positive. But I think that what really helped me was the person in front of me had bombed, and she was very. I would call her a raunchy person. So it was just really raunchy, and the things that she did with the microphone did not help her case. And so thankfully I'm in a fake it Italian, so I always talk with my hands, and so I always use a lapel or a headset, right? And so when she comes back up to hand me the microphone, I just said, I know where that's been.
Oh, that's great.
And so it started off really well. So and she said, you know,
that's
she
great.
She knew she was bombing it, but she didn't know how to get out of it. And so she's like, I don't have another set to go to. So, so I followed it, and I think it was like this nervous energy because she was a person who was warming my audience up. She was the MC for the night, and so she had a 10-minute sketch. I had a 20-minute, and I think they were just like, when they would have laughed at anyone that stood up there, right? Kermit the Frog could have got up there, and they would have been laughing hysterical.
Well, there's a lot of different reasons that people laugh, that audiences laugh.
So I think there was just like a release, or like, oh my gosh, thank goodness she's clean, she's funny, you know.
Right.
And so I felt like I did a great job.
Good.
I got invited back. That's always a good scene.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. But then the next time I couldn't go, so.
That's great.
And then they wanted to bring me down in Denver, and I was like, I know too many people here. So I'll do it one day.
Okay.
I'll do it one day.
Okay.
Maybe you can help me write my.
You know, I'm working with
my other set.
Yeah, I'm working with a few clients right now that are highly successful professional women who are absolutely terrified to speak in public, and we're working on getting them used to. I have a stage that we work with. You've seen that, and we get them used to physically being on stage and looking at people, looking back at them.
Yeah.
That's where people usually freeze. Like they can know their stuff from A to Z, but the minute they see an entire room of people staring at them, they freeze like a deer in a headlight.
Yeah.
So you can practice and really start to own being comfortable on a stage, but it does take some practice.
It does.
But I am an avid believer that if you are going to be in business in any form or fashion, and sales, which is part of business, right? Knowing how to speak in public is absolutely a tool that you should craft and hone because it will take you it'll take you levels beyond what you can imagine. So I really am very, very passionate about helping people
I really
with that.
wish I would have known this much sooner. I was extraordinarily shy, challenged with, learning disability, dyslexia, and so and then my speech professor in college, my undergrad, I gave a speech one time, and it was really cute because my boyfriend then, now husband, I was just so nervous. And so he went in and the night before and wrote, breathe, take a breath.
Excellent.
It's okay, breathe. And so I gave my talk, and so I thought I was doing somewhat okay. The professor comes up to me and goes, Teri, that was the worst talk I've ever heard. And you were so nervous that you made me nervous for you. And I was like,
that is not a good teacher.
And so then I said, I will never speak again. And so,
I'd like to have a conversation with that teacher.
So I vowed to never speak again. Oh, and so I was just like, I must be the worst person, right? So it took me, and it evolved me getting comfortable. And I will tell you this, I wish someone would have told me that sooner, how powerful speaking is and how quickly you can convert, because you give the opportunity for the audience to fall in love with you, to be able to serve, to add value, to entertain, and to whether they work with me or not, it's like I hope that they got one little nugget out of that made their day better, or they took it home and had a conversation, or just like that. But it's the fastest way to make the biggest impact.
Yes, it is.
And over, like, I personally have had sales funnels and all of that over that. Like,
yeah,
it's just been
because
so powerful.
like you say, they have that FaceTime with you. They really get to know who you are and trust, and buy, right?
Yeah. This is fantastic. This is a great stopping point. We're going to take a quick humor break, a little funny break. No funny business, of course. And we'll be right back with Karyn Ruth.
I'm Jeffrey Bowling, owner and jewelry designer at Jeffrey B. Jewelers, Denver's #1 jewelry design studio. And the reason why we're #1 is because of our 3D custom jewelry design. We can show you what your piece is going to look like way before the end product. And this is going to give you the comfort of knowing you get exactly what you want.
He took me over to the computer and we started drawing up exactly what I wanted. And I told my husband, I'm like, Jeffrey B is the person we're going to use.
And the other reason is that all of our gold and our diamonds are ethically sourced. So when you're ready to make that proposal, when you're ready for that legacy piece, go to jeffreyb.com and make an appointment. Because when it's love, it's Jeffrey B.
All right, we are back with the one, the only Karyn Ruth White. So what are some ways in which women specifically sabotage either our credibility or our power when we're on stage?
Oh my gosh. I'll just give you an example. I was at a conference and it was for an association of broadcasters.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, these are the pros, right?
Right, yeah.
They get on stage. First of all, the podium is up here, right? So
dear.
The first woman that gets on stage, so she's looking at you on eye level, right?
Right.
So somebody should have gotten her a
step stool.
A step stool. She's
that would
right.
be cute.
Then, how the microphone, it has the swan. Is it swan neck? What do you call it when you go?
Yeah.
Is that right? So it's over here, right? So here's the woman. This is a woman in broadcasting. This is the entire speech. So I'm really, really happy to be here. So she's craning her neck like the microphone moves.
Yes.
So the main thing I would say to women, and I do focus on women. I do work with some men, but I have a passion for helping women stand up and be powerful and stand in their value. And so the first thing is own the stage.
Yeah.
You're going to work. This is your workplace.
Yeah.
Adjust the microphone. Make sure that, people can see you.
Yeah.
Stand up. And I see what, they don't project. It's like, I am very, very happy to be here today. For the next 3 hours, we're going to talk about, and the entire audience goes, oh, right?
Right.
So you've got to grab them up front. You've got to own the stage. They have to know that you know your stuff. And then they can sit back and relax and take in whatever the message is that you're there to share with them. So those are just a few tips.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, what are some other tips? Because I think that there's the leading up to it, the preparing, for it, writing it, being strategic about it, then also being on stage delivering it.
Well, and practicing delivery before you go on.
And then the follow-up of it as well. So any other tips just anywhere along the way?
Well,
for
prepare.
folks?
That's where most people get really, really nervous. And I would also say never read your speech. Have, 5 or 6 index cards. Have your main points. It's okay to, reference a card if you want to share information, if you have a quote or whatever. And I just had a client the other day. She goes, my former business partner told me that I'm supposed to stand on stage totally straight with my arms totally by my side the whole time. Is that right? I said, your former business partner was wrong.
Yeah.
It's about being natural on stage. And,
Yeah.
There are a lot of schools of thought that are like gesturing 101. That stuff is, I don't want people to be thinking about when I'm going to gesture and all that.
Yeah.
As far as a presenter, just be relaxed, be yourself. I mean, you can't be flailing your arm. Like if I spent this entire interview doing this, did I lose you? What happened?
No, that's how I usually.
Well, you are Italian, right?
No, I'm fake Italian.
Oh, you're fake Italian?
100% fake Italian.
100% fake Italian? Okay, that's good. I think that's what it says on my spaghetti sauce.
No, the reason why that came up was like, I was at this bar one night talking to a girlfriend.
Talking
and I was
like
talking.
this?
I was talking. I was like, that's why I'm like, why are you making fun of me?
No, and that's
so I'm
okay.
talking, and the guy comes over and he's like, ma'am, he's like, I got to stop and talk to you. And I go, what made you want to stop and talk? He's like, you're Italian, right? I go, what about what you saw or heard made me think that I was
About what
Italian?
you saw.
And he's like, you're talking with your hands.
You're
So I'm
bringing
like-
in planes.
So now I'm 100% fake Italian.
I love it.
Yes.
I
so
love it.
anyway, so as you're
Yeah,
gesturing,
so,
I'm like,
I mean,
oh my
if
God. I'm
there's
like, that's me.
If there's a natural, if there's some kind
Yeah.
of tick or natural thing that a person does that's really distracting,
Yes.
that's what I help them with in coaching.
Yes.
But can you imagine standing here like this for an hour long
I wouldn't be
talk?
able to talk. I'd be like,
Well,
we're done.
can you imagine
We're
the audience? The audience be
Yeah.
like, is she in a straitjacket? Is she having some sort of a stroke? What's happening? You know, so people get a lot of erroneous information. I would just, I would suggest, this is my mantra. It's be yourself, only a little bigger than life.
Ooh, I love that.
So it's just a little bigger version of who you really are.
I love that.
Because people can sense authenticity, and if they know you're authentic, if they know you're passionate about what you're talking about, 9 times out of 10 they'll listen.
I love it. Okay, well, before we wrap up, where can people find you or connect with you at?
My website is Stand Up for Success.
Perfect.
So it's actually the whole philosophy of my business is teaching business and confidence skills using stand-up comedy. Kind of a stand-up comedy approach,
Yeah.
but it's also about standing up for your success, teaching people to stand in the spotlight and deliver.
I love it. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Teri.
As always, be bold, be brave, be fearless, be the magic of you. Massive love. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell to find out about my upcoming shows. Thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time.